Okay, today I'm wanting to talk about Occupy Wall Street, which is, I think it's a very good movement, but that's just my opinion, obviously, and to a lot of you, probably my opinion don't matter. But, frankly, who cares what you think? This is my video, and I'll say what I want on it. Now, I remember a while back, I wasn't really political activist, really. I was just interested in other stuff. Never actually crossed my mind until I saw the August riots in London and dozens of cities around the world, and I just thought, yeah, that means probably something's really messed up with the country. Stuff like that's happening because I've never seen riots before, or that is my first one, and it's got to make you wonder what's happening to the economy. Who knows? It's the government's thing, and frankly I don't care about the government. Now, why I've created this video is because I am in support of the Occupy movement, and I'll probably be making quite a lot more videos about it. But what I support about the Occupy movement is when they started, their original ideas were brilliant, and the speed of how good, well, like, let me say that again, the speed of their movement took less than a month to cross the entire world and create 10 cities everywhere. So I think, good on them. Although that's not really making a difference, by making 10 cities, it is pretty good that they can organise so many in such little time. But what I support them for is, well, I don't support all the movements. I occupy Oakland, and I just do not see it. It's because the protesters, as well as police, and we know all police have been violent during them, but it is the protesters as well. A lot of them haven't admitted to throwing stones before the police started charging at them, so in a way you can't blame them for being a bit pissed. But yeah, why I support Occupy Wall Street. The inequality around here, well, in the country, is massive. Well, in my country that is, and in America too. And there's a few things I haven't supported about Occupy Wall Street for a few of their actions, like in Occupy London, they went outside of St. Paul's Cathedral, which I just thought, why did you just do that? Although they couldn't get into Parnassus Square, I think that's what they wanted to get into. Yeah. Sorry, something in my mouth. Even though they couldn't get into Parnassus Square, they could still have occupied somewhere else. They defaced the cathedral for a start. And although I support the movement, that action was completely, it shouldn't have happened. They could have just occupied somewhere else, like Finsbury Square. Brilliant occupation. They worked together. They actually built up parts of the park that were broken down. They made a geocidal dome or something, which is a pretty good dome. You could have a library in there and all sorts. They were very organised. They didn't drink, drive, well, not drive, but drink, take drugs, unlike the people at Occupy London. They had less of an attitude than the people at Occupy London. Now, so yeah, and a few other places in Britain where they've kind of just copied, for God's sake, Occupy London and thought it would be a good idea to camp outside of the cathedrals. Now, I will say this, cathedrals, especially, well, let's just say, Catholic Church is very corrupt. Is very corrupt. That's more like a zero, really. The Vatican are the richest country in the world, the most corrupt country in the world. And when you think of places like Kenya, it's just, whoa. Such a small country being such a corrupt place. So yeah, I can kind of see, Occupy there because they're corrupt and we're fighting against corruption. What am I on now? 5 minutes. I'm going to try and keep it less than 10 minutes each of my videos. But yeah, don't support the inequality that's well, I support the fact that they're fighting against inequality and corruption. Corruption is a very bad thing. Never like it. Bankers, you got to ask yourself, what have they ever done for us? The only things they have done is store our money for us, which they took away in the recessions. A lot of their recent stuff, I would say I support a lot more than what they usually been doing, such as Occupy Sandy. Occupy Sandy, I think, is a brilliant idea. When FEMA and the American Red Cross were doing, well, the FEMA was closed at the time, and a newspaper came out and it showed FEMA people, people from FEMA coming out and basically they were going to one of the Occupy hotspots where they were supplying food, getting clothes, supplying anything that would help victims of Occupy Sandy. And, that's what they do. And then later on, stuff that I started to support was, because that was good, that was brilliant, although the Red Cross and FEMA, were doing practically nothing. Just now they've started cleaning up Staten Island, which has taken a pretty long time, since it's been nearly a month since that's happened. And yeah, so yeah, I support that movement. I also support what it's called the Rolling Jubilee. Now, the Rolling Jubilee, for those of you who don't know, is basically the idea that they'll raise some money, and it's happening tonight actually, which is a very good thing. They raise some money, and instead of getting a call from debt collectors when you're really high in debt, they're going to call up and say, we've taken care of your debt by giving you a loan that you don't have to owe back. Like something like that, I think. But yeah, I think brilliant idea. That should happen a lot more. And currently, this is on the Rolling Jubilee site, they can take away up to, what was it now? Somewhere between 2 and 3 million pounds worth of debt from from the banks. And if we continue to do this, we could just wipe out that debt simply enough. Because if they can do that with 3 million in what was started between what happened in Occupy Sandy and now, so it's pretty shorter time than what happened for Occupy Sandy. But if we do that, then all of the debt should eventually go, unless the banks start making it harder to pay it all back. These things happen. But yeah, Occupy Wall Street. I'll make more videos about them. Please subscribe, like, whatever. But if you're gonna hate me for my supporting or dislike what I have to say, then do please comment on this, because it'd be kind of pointless. You just disliking it and then just like, yeah, why have you just disliked it? Okay, goodbye.